Utopia, the good place for here and now and for everywhere and forever. Multi-level utopia. The inner utopia and the outer utopia. The inner utopia, cultivating the inner garden within the inner temple, within the inner citadel. The outer utopia, cultivating the outer garden within the outer temple, within the outer citadel. Utopia, the playground where anyone can find a game that they want to play, where no one is forced into a game which they do not want to play. They can find the game which develops their agency and their sovereignty. Utopia is the playground which includes everybody and excludes no one. It embraces all potential.
Utopia forever. Utopia as the infinite playground where all equipment, all constructs, all possibilities are available to you. Utopia forever means utopia forever changing, because utopia forever the same is stagnation. So utopia is an idea. It's a meta playground, but it's an abstraction. It's not a place. It's a way of being in the playground. It's a way of playing with others.
The meta playground which generates playgrounds. Utopia as the topos, as the place which produces other topi, other places. Utopia not as something determinate, something customizable by anyone. A set of principles that can be applied to one's individual and collective needs, the individual utopia and the collective utopia, and the need for both, the need of the chamber of solitude, the room of one's own, but also the need of a commons of one's own, to one that one belongs, a community, a communal space where one can be together happily, where games are provided, games are organized. One doesn't have to think how one needs to play, but one can play frictionlessly and free.
The utopian playground is a place where everybody belongs, or at least everybody can find a place in which they belong. Belonging feels like there's something in that that's important. The belonging is an embodied sense of being part of something which isn't just you, like an important part of a fabric of which you are a thread, something like that. And that without your thread, or if your thread's the wrong color, if you don't show up as the right kind of thread, the whole fabric is not quite right.
To belong, to be long, to be somewhere for a long time, to be somewhere long enough that one starts to plant roots into the ground, that one's thread becomes woven into the total tapestry. A place of one's own, a place that belongs to oneself, one's own corner of the garden. A place where one will not be uprooted, where one will not be able to be long. One will only be able to be short, being transplanted against one will. No, you cannot be here. Now you must move. You cannot stay at your home. You must go to your work, go to where you have to give your energy for another person's place.
That's really beautiful. Be long, be in the place for a long time, put down roots, build relationships, build networks. That's a really beautiful way to look at it. The notions of commitment and responsibility come to mind, that these are inextricably part of this utopia, right? It's not just hedonism and sex and drugs and whatever the fuck you want whenever the fuck you want it. The belonging requires you, as Jordan Peterson would say, not just to play this game or win this game, but to be the kind of person who gets invited to play games over and over and over again.
To join in with other people's games, to join in with the collective game, collectively design the collective game where everybody wants to return to play. To plant a totem in one's home that one will respect for the length of one's life, that one will return to sacrifice to give oneself over and over again. To spin around the totem, to spin a trance around the totem, and for everybody to dance around that axis mundi, letting loose their anima, letting loose the anima mundi, join together into axima, into the synergy of the pole and the polarities, generating the field of the good place.
Synergy and relationship, dancing around the totem pole, creating a sympathetic vibration between all of the participants that, once created, washes over and reinforces and binds. Yeah, the what is it? The force passes through us and binds the universe together. Something like that. That kind of image. The ability to leave and return, that you've still been there a long time, you have the right to leave, go off, explore, try new games, come back again. Your experience in those games enriches this game because you are a trusted member of this utopia.
A center of one's world one can return to over and over and over. An attachment to that center, like the child is attached to the parent and knows that it can go and explore and yet return to its core. And there, everything will be safe, everything will be warm, everything will be love. And no matter what suffering is experienced by whatever accident out there in the big unknown, you can return to that safe womb that one would be glad to call one's tomb.
The exploration of the unknown, the pushing back the boundaries of what it means to be in the world, the resilience of the utopia to create games that adapt to the new territories which are being exposed, the meta principles of the utopia being maintained, the richness of the interweaving of the fabric only getting richer as those threads have more thread, each of those threads have more threads that make them up, enriching the overall tapestry at a fractal level, the eternal utopia.